Hey Ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to an ARK little guide today on how to use creative mode. If you're brand new to ARK in 2022 or you downloaded it as it's free with PlayStation Plus at the moment, then this will give you a little guide on how you can do some creative builds, maybe just spawn in some items to test them out. You do you. So to activate the creative mode, go to General tab all the way at the bottom, show creative mode, make sure that's ticked on. This not only will allow you to try out all the items in the game, it's even DLC items that you should be able to spawn in and mess around with without owning a DLC. So to activate it, well, now all you have to do is, after ticking the box that I showed you, press the options button and you've got the enable creative mode. This will give you a special rifle. It's in the shape of a spanner and a hammer. Put that into one of your hotbar slots and the first one that you'll have is blue. If you press RT, it'll basically teleport you to wherever it is. It's not the most gracious of things and it can crash sometimes, but if you do want to get across the map fairly quickly, you can almost go ahead and spam it. You don't have to worry about full damage or God mode or anything like that. While you've got this on, you should be able to just skim and fly through the air, and you can see we're doing some pretty dodgy frame rate business here. Just be careful it doesn't actually hit the trees, as there is kind of a limit to where you can go. Like I said, it's not the best way to get across, but it is one of the most easiest to use. To stop flying in the air, you need to tap the jump button twice, and you will start falling down to the ground. While you've got this on, you're practically invincible. I don't think anything can really kill you. You can see while you've got this on, you don't take any damage from any dinosaurs. If you want to fly around again, then just go ahead and tap the X button again twice, and you'll simply be able to zip around. Now while you're zipping around, you can see I'm going pretty fast and almost out of control. You can actually make yourself go faster or slower by tapping the L1 button. If you tap it a bunch of times, you'll go at a snail's pace. So it's good for getting some cinematic shots if you're a content creator. And to go a bit faster again, you need to go ahead and tap the X button once more. In fact, keep tapping it and that's how you speed up. Welcome to ARK, naked. And again, if you want to slow down, then just go ahead and tap the L1 button. And once more, if you want to go quick, then go ahead and double tap the X button. And then if you hold the X button, you should just go higher. And if you want to actually go lower, you need to click and hold the right stick in. And here we go, we're back. But that's not all the rifle can do. You can change it to a green rifle by pressing the L2 button. And you can inspect a creature. Again, just aim at something, although you may need to get a little bit closer for this one. And to be honest, it's pretty buggy. In fact, all the functions with the actual rifle, they generally don't work as they maybe should. You have to aim the actual green rifle at a particular point on a dinosaur to actually get the stats. So if you want to see if a dinosaur's maybe worth it before actually doing it legit, I guess, then you can go ahead. It does even work on other items as well. If you go up to something and press R2, you can actually get an idea of what that item is, if it's a rock, foliage, or even the ground. So yeah, not the most useful thing, but there you go, it's explained. Now the red one is the most dangerous. Again, when it actually works. You used to, I swear, be able to destroy terrain and other stuff with it, but now it looks like you can only destroy dinos. So if you're doing a mega build of something and dinosaurs keep getting in your way, you go ahead and then use this rifle. And what you're looking for is a small tiny red line that will appear once you're close enough to a dinosaur. Again, it used to work from quite a distance, so maybe they nerfed it, but there you go, you can see that orange line, I guess. And that's it, you can then go ahead and kill the creature. The only problem with this is the bodies do stay there, so you'd have to actually harvest them to get rid of them. So that is pretty much the cheat rifle and how to move around the map super quick. If you go into your inventory menu and actually click on the crafting, it'll actually open up all the crafting options. So you can pretty much craft every single item in the game. The only thing you can't do with this, I do believe, is spawn in certain natural resources. It can give you elements, so if you want to mess around with the tech gear, which is the Power Ranger suit and stuff, you can go ahead and spawn as much of that in as you want by tapping R2. But yeah, I don't think it spawns in things like silica pearls and stuff like that. So if you want to get some more advanced armors to see what they look like, you can go ahead and do this and spawn every single one of them in. Obviously it also works with building pieces. And you can obviously sort it into folder view to make things a bit easier. Also, top tip, if you want to mess around with a bunch of the DLC items that you're only supposedly able to get if you actually buy the DLC, you can use this cheat command to activate them. They can be used on mostly any map, and unless things have changed, you can do that if you don't own the DLC. Now, I do own all DLC on PS4, but I've done many videos in the past showing that you can spawn in a bunch of the DLC creatures. Why is that the case? Well, remember, ARK is a multiplayer big server game. You can transfer creatures from DLCs to other maps, with the idea being that if you don't actually own a DLC, maybe some of your tribe mates do, and they can share the wealth and let you run around on some of the dinosaurs. And that still applies to single player. So I've got a rate wildcard for this. I don't know whether they did it and it was just a mistake that they felt they couldn't correct, but effectively when you're buying DLC, you're literally just buying the brand new map. This skiff is from the last DLC they had, the Genesis 2. And yeah, you can go ahead and use it on any map you want. And there you go, that's the basics of creative mode in ARK. You should have almost unlimited weight, be able to hold as many items as you want, craft anything super quick, not worry about your health, hunger, food or water. It should also make you invincible, like I said, but there were cases in the past where if you got eaten by a massive dinosaur like a Giga, it could actually kill you. And if you go into the no-fly zone, basically world barriers, that can also still kill you. If you're playing with friends and you want to give them creative mode, well, there is a way for that too. For this, you're going to need to bring up the admin box, and this is how you do a bunch of other cheats that I'm going to be showing you in another video. Press the options button, then hold L1, R1, triangle and square at the same time, or press them both at the same time, and it will bring up the admin command bar. If you look up the ARK wiki, this is exactly where you can use any of the commands that you see in there. To explicitly give creative mode to other players, you need to stand in front of the player, then type give creative mode to target. There is also another way where you can put in the ID number, and the ID numbers on PlayStation are actually inside your little engram in your arm. So that little implant, it will actually, if you press on it, give you a special number, and that's basically your PlayStation ID. It's basically give creative mode to player, leave a space, then type in the number that's in their implant. I used to use this all the time, and it should still work if you've got other players joining your world or family members. Obviously be careful who you give it to in case you do give it to a troll. And if you want to turn that off for other players, you simply have to put the same command in again and activate it, and it should turn it off. Or likewise, if you close the server down, or your undedicated server, then that should also make everything reset. Any engrams anyone has learned, they'll be removed from them as well once you've reset the server or jump back on after reloading. But any items they've spawned in, they'll have in their inventory still. And you may have noticed I've got a command called GCM. This is pretty much how you can activate creative mode using commands if you didn't actually tick creative mode in the actual menu. It does exactly the same job. It will give you your refill of your stats, and it will give you the rifle and be able to fly around. And that's it for this video. I've got another couple incoming showing you some more advanced actual commands. You can do a whole bunch of stuff like auto tame dinosaurs, destroy every creature on the map, spawn in whatever creatures you want, as well as a whole host of other commands to allow you to get around the map and do stuff quicker and easier. And I've got over 1,000 ARK videos, many of them hundreds guides, tutorials on how to play ARK. Some of them a bit old, but they still actually are relevant. So go and check them out and look out some fresh ones from me. Until next time, laters.